In the last episode, the boy Samuel heard a voice in the night. 3 times God called, and on the 4th, Samuel answered. The word that came was judgment on Eli's house. And all Israel recognized that Samuel was a prophet of the Lord. But the judgment has not yet fallen. Now the Israelites go out to fight against the Philistines. The army encamps near Ebenezer, and the Philistines are camped at Affek. The Philistines deploy their forces to meet Israel, and as the battle spreads, Israel is defeated by the Philistines, who kill about 4,000 of them on the battlefield. 4,000 dead. The army retreats to camp, stunned and bleeding. When the soldiers return to camp, the elders of Israel ask, "Why did the Lord bring defeat on us today before the Philistines? Let us bring the ark of the Lord's covenant from Shiloh, so that he may go with us and save us from the hand of our enemies." The elders do not ask Samuel. They do not inquire of the Lord. They decide what must be done. Bring the ark. Bring the golden box. Bring God himself into battle. So the people send men to Shiloh, and they bring back the ark of the covenant of the Lord Almighty, who is enthroned between the cherubim. And Eli's 2 sons, Hophni and Phineas, are there with the ark of the covenant of God. The 2 sons, the corrupt priests, the men under judgment. They accompany the ark to the battlefield. When the ark of the Lord's covenant comes into the camp, all Israel raises such a great shout that the ground shakes. A shout that shakes the earth. The army believes victory is now certain. God is with them. The ark has arrived. Hearing the uproar, the Philistines ask, "What is all this shouting in the Hebrew camp?" When they learn that the ark of the Lord has come into the camp, the Philistines are afraid. They say, "A god has come into the camp. Oh no, nothing like this has happened before. Who will deliver us from the hand of these mighty gods? They are the gods who struck the Egyptians with all kinds of plagues in the wilderness. Be strong, Philistines, be men, or you will be subject to the Hebrews as they have been to you. Be men and fight." The Philistines remember Egypt. They remember the plagues. They are afraid. But fear drives them to fight harder. So the Philistines fight, and the Israelites are defeated, and every man flees to his tent. The slaughter is very great. Israel loses 30,000 foot soldiers. 30,000, not 4,000 as before. The presence of the ark has not brought victory. It has brought catastrophe. The ark of God is captured, and Eli's 2 sons, Hophni and Phineas, die. Both die on the same day, just as the man of God foretold, just as the Lord told Samuel in the night. Israel trusted in a box instead of the God who dwells above it. They carried the ark like a talisman, a weapon to wield. But God will not be commanded. He will not be carried into battle against his will. That same day, a Benjamite runs from the battle line and goes to Shiloh with his clothes torn and dust on his head. When he arrives, Eli is sitting on his chair by the side of the road, watching because his heart fears for the ark of God. Eli cannot see, but he sits watching, his heart trembling. Not for his sons, for the ark. When the man enters the town and tells what has happened, the whole town sends up a cry. Eli hears the outcry and asks, "What is the meaning of this uproar?" The man hurries over to Eli, who is 98 years old, and whose eyes had failed so that he could not see. He tells Eli, "I have just come from the battle line. I fled from it this very day." Eli asks, "What happened, my son?" The man who brought the news replies, "Israel fled before the Philistines, and the army has suffered heavy losses. Also, your 2 sons, Hophni and Phineas, are dead, and the ark of God has been captured. 4 blows, flight, slaughter, his sons dead, the ark taken." When he mentions the ark of God, Eli falls backward off his chair by the side of the gate. His neck is broken, and he dies, for he was an old man, and he was heavy. He led Israel 40 years. Eli falls and dies at the mention of the ark. The loss of his sons did not kill him. The loss of the ark did. His heart broke before his neck. His daughter-in-law, the wife of Phineas, is pregnant and near the time of delivery. When she hears the news that the ark of God has been captured and that her father-in-law and her husband are dead, she goes into labor and gives birth, but is overcome by her labor pains. As she is dying, the women attending her say, "Do not despair, you have given birth to a son." But she does not respond or pay any attention. She names the boy Ichabod, saying, "The glory has departed from Israel," because of the capture of the ark of God and the deaths of her father-in-law and her husband. She says, "The glory has departed from Israel, for the ark of God has been captured." Ichabod, no glory. The name becomes a memorial to the darkest day in Israel's memory. The glory has gone. The ark is lost. The priesthood is dead. After the Philistines capture the ark of God, they take it from Ebenezer to Ashdod. Then they carry the ark into Dagon's temple and set it beside Dagon. Dagon, the god of the Philistines, half man, half fish, according to some. The ark of the Lord is placed beside this idol, trophy beside trophy. When the people of Ashdod rise early the next day, there is Dagon, fallen on his face on the ground before the ark of the Lord. They take Dagon and put him back in his place. But the following morning when they rise, there is Dagon, fallen on his face on the ground before the ark of the Lord. His head and hands have been broken off and are lying on the threshold. Only his body remains. That is why to this day neither the priests of Dagon nor any others who enter Dagon's temple at Ashdod step on the threshold. Dagon falls twice, the second time broken. The god of the Philistines prostrates before the God of Israel. Even in captivity, the Lord demonstrates his supremacy. The Lord's hand is heavy on the people of Ashdod and its vicinity. He brings devastation on them and afflicts them with tumors. When the people of Ashdod see what is happening, they say, "The ark of the God of Israel must not stay here with us, because his hand is heavy on us and on Dagon our God." So they call together all the rulers of the Philistines and ask, "What shall we do with the ark of the God of Israel?" They answer, "Have the ark of the God of Israel moved to Gath." So they move the ark of the God of Israel. But after they moved it, the Lord's hand is against that city, throwing it into a great panic. He afflicts the people of the city, both young and old, with an outbreak of tumors. Gath receives the ark and receives the plague. So they send the ark of God to Ekron. When the ark of God comes to Ekron, the people of Ekron cry out, "They have brought the ark of the God of Israel around us to kill us and our people." So they call together all the rulers of the Philistines and say, "Send the ark of the God of Israel away. Let it go back to its own place, or it will kill us and our people. For death has filled the city with panic. God's hand is very heavy on it. Those who do not die are afflicted with tumors, and the outcry of the city goes up to heaven. The ark has become a plague. It passes from city to city, and death follows. The Philistines who captured it now beg to be rid of it. The ark of the Lord remains in Philistine territory 7 months. 7 months. 7 months of plague. 7 months of tumors and death. The victory of Affek has become a curse. Israel thought they could wield God as a weapon. The Philistines thought they had captured a god. Both were wrong. The Lord is not a tool to be used or a trophy to be displayed. He is the living God, and his glory will not be mocked. Thank you for listening to this episode about the capture of the ark. Israel presumed on God's presence and suffered catastrophic defeat. Eli and his sons died, the glory departed, and the Philistines learned that the God of Israel cannot be contained. In the next episode, the Philistines will devise a plan to return the ark. They will send it back on a cart pulled by cows. And Israel will learn that even when the ark returns, the God who dwells above it demands reverence.